It was supposed to be just another day on the set of Fight Club. The cast was flawless, the crew efficient, and director David Fincher's sharp eye caught every detail. But when the footage from the day's shoot was reviewed, a chilling discovery stopped everyone in their tracks. In the dimly lit background of one scene stood a figure, a face no one recognized. He wasn't part of the cast, crew, or even an extra. The room fell silent as the uninvited presence stared back at them from the screen. Who was he? And how had he ended up in their film? The discovery of the mysterious figure sent ripples of unease through the production team. The assistant director immediately began checking the day's call sheets while the producer combed through security footage of the set. "There's no one listed that matches his description," the assistant director said, her voice tinged with confusion. The security footage was equally baffling. There was no record of anyone entering the set who wasn't accounted for. David Fincher paced the editing room, running his hand over his chin as he often did when deep in thought. "This isn't just a slip-up," he muttered, pacing the editing room. The crew replayed the scene over and over, zooming in on the blurry but unmistakable figure. As the room grew quieter, someone suggested, "Could this be a reflection or maybe an editing glitch?" The theory sounded reasonable, but when they cross-checked the raw footage, the figure remained. No camera artifact, no technical error, just an uninvited presence that left everyone unsettled. The longer they stared at the footage, the more unnerving it became. Was this a prank? A mistake? Or something far stranger? The next day, Brad Pitt and Edward Norton joined the crew in reviewing the footage. As the clip played, Brad leaned forward, squinting at the screen. "I don't remember anyone being there," he said, his tone more serious than usual. Edward crossed his arms, his expression a mix of confusion and discomfort. "That part of the set was cleared. No one else was supposed to be back there," he added firmly. The actors exchanged uneasy glances, their usually light-hearted banter replaced by silence. Brad tried to rationalize the situation. "Maybe it's some kind of digital artifact," he said, though his voice lacked its usual confidence. Edward suggested, "Or someone slipped in without us noticing." But the idea didn't sit well with Fincher. He was known for his obsessive attention to detail. Every shot, every corner of the set was under his watchful eye. "No one gets onto my set without permission," he said, his tone sharp. As the crew watched the footage again, an editor paused the frame at just the right moment. The figure's eyes seemed to look directly at the camera, almost as if he knew he was being filmed. The room grew colder, as if the air itself was holding its breath. For the first time, the cast and crew began to question whether they were dealing with something beyond explanation. Rumors about the figure spread quickly through the crew. During a coffee break, Karen hesitantly mentioned, "This place used to be a warehouse, right? I heard someone died here years ago." Her colleagues scoffed, but she continued, "No, seriously. My uncle used to work here. He said the place was abandoned after an incident." Another crew member added, "That explains the drafts and flickering lights last week." David Fincher overheard the conversation. "We're here to make a film, not ghost stories," he said firmly. But later, someone shared details about Henry Jacobs, a worker who had tragically died here. His death, though ruled an accident, remained shrouded in rumors. The connection to the footage figure was hard to ignore. Determined to find answers, the crew began digging into the building's history. What they uncovered added another layer of unease. Decades ago, the warehouse had been the site of a tragic accident. The story centered around Henry Jacobs, a worker who had died under mysterious circumstances. Officially, his death was ruled an accident, a fall from a high shelf while doing repairs. But rumors suggested otherwise. Some claimed he had been pushed during an argument. Others whispered about him being the victim of a workplace conspiracy. One chilling detail stood out. Henry had always dreamed of being part of Hollywood. According to old colleagues, he would tell anyone who'd listen, "One day, I'll see my name in the credits of a big movie." The crew couldn't shake the eerie connection between Henry's story and the ghostly figure in their footage. Had Henry finally found his way onto a film set? Or was this simply a strange coincidence? The questions grew, but answers remained elusive. Even Fincher, ever the skeptic, found himself drawn into the building's shadowy past. The atmosphere on set grew heavier as the crew tried to move on, but the tension was palpable. Then, just as things seemed to settle, it happened again. While reviewing footage from a completely different scene, someone in the editing room gasped. "He's back," a voice said, trembling. The mysterious figure appeared once more, this time walking through the background of a crowded fight scene. His movements were slow and deliberate, as if he knew the camera was on him. The editing team replayed the footage multiple times, but no one could explain how he had ended up in the shot. David Fincher was called in immediately. His face was unreadable as he stared at the screen, his fingers steepled under his chin. "Lock the set down," he said finally. "I don't want anyone on this set who doesn't belong here." The crew reviewed every second of footage from that day, cross-referencing it with security logs and on-set photos. Once again, there was no record of anyone matching the figure's description. By now, even the skeptics were starting to believe that this was more than just a mistake. Back in the editing room, the production team began piecing together every appearance of the figure. They found him in multiple scenes, always in the background, always unnoticed during filming. "Look at his movements," one editor said, pausing a frame. "It's like he's acting, but for who?" His posture was stiff, yet purposeful, as though he was fulfilling a role. The theory that the figure might be connected to the building's haunted history gained more traction. "What if this is Henry Jacobs?" someone whispered, almost afraid to say it aloud. Not everyone was convinced. "This could still be a prank," another crew member argued. "A really elaborate one, but still a prank." David Fincher, however, wasn't so sure. With the figure's presence confirmed across multiple scenes, the team decided to embrace the mystery. "If he wants to be in the film," Fincher said with a faint smirk, "then he'll be in the film." The crew laughed nervously, unsure if he was joking or serious. But deep down, they all felt the weight of the unanswered questions. When Fight Club finally hit theaters, audiences noticed the mysterious figure almost immediately. Social media lit up with theories, each more outlandish than the last. Some claimed he was a ghost, others believed he was an intentional Easter egg planted by Fincher. Fincher, true to form, refused to comment. "What you see is what you get," he said in interviews, his cryptic response only fueling the speculation. Fans dissected every frame of the film, searching for hidden clues about the figure's identity. Some claimed to see him in moments where he wasn't supposed to be, while others swore they felt a chill watching the scenes he appeared in. The ghostly extra became an inseparable part of Fight Club's legacy, turning a cult classic into a cinematic enigma. For some, the mystery added to the film's allure. For others, it was a reminder that not everything in life or cinema could be explained. The mystery of the ghostly extra lingers, leaving one question. Was it a mere accident? Or did something far stranger unfold on set? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Hollywood mysteries.